Hello. So we are working on communication, soft skills, and etiquette. And we are working currently on an assignment that is focused on specifically looking at a combination of Newsella articles that are going to delve into looking at the interaction between how humans and animals communicate. So you're going to have specific tasks where you're going to be assigned Newsella articles. You're going to be given tasks that you will need to do with the articles. Once you're given those tasks with the articles, after you complete those tasks, you will be asked to revisit the articles for specific information. Please pay attention to what those tasks are as we move forward. So first up, we're going to be looking at how humans and animals interact with each other, because a lot of times when we are interacting with animals, we tend to let our guard down in a way that we might not be letting our guard down with other people. But that interaction gives us a lot of insight as to how we might be able to interrelate with other people. And this might give us some helpful tips and tricks in being able to communicate with people in the workplace and in our school environments. So maybe the lessons that we get from interacting with our animal friends might be helpful as we move forward. So our first activity is the Newsella article about being kind to pets. And what I would like to do is I'd like to walk you through the activity that we have for the Newsella article. It's already been pushed out in the classroom setting. And what I want to remind you of is you want to do the writing prompt and the Power Words activity before you move on to the quiz. Also, remember, highlighting tool is always something that you want to use as you read the article. So let's jump to our article. So the importance of teaching kids to be kind to pets. As we go through this article, first things first, let's look at what the writing prompt is. And this one's really pretty generic. What's the main idea of the article? Use evidence from the text to explain your thinking. So as we go through the article, we're going to be looking for that. But we also know that this article has power words associated with it. So we're going to look at what are the bold words as we go. So as we go through the article, we have information about these two young boys that are involved in learning about animals in their community. And one of the first things that we find out about is that as they're interacting with animals in their community in Seattle, that this teaches the kids about respecting animals and treating them humanely. And this already matches up with the title. So when I read through this article on my own, I had pre-highlighted this. So I'm going to show you some of the pre-highlighting that I did. You, of course, can highlight what you think is important as you read the article. I'm just going to give you some examples as I go through with you. You, of course, can highlight other things, but I'm going to show you some examples of how I would do the assignment. So Notice that there is a power word here. So if you're not sure what the word humanely means, which that's not necessarily a word that everybody uses every day, you would click on that. Oops, sorry. I had already pre-highlighted this. My bad. There we go. So since it's a power word, and maybe you don't know how to say this, you can always click on the little speaker button and the computer will tell you how to say it.
Humanely. If someone acts humanely, they are kind and thoughtful toward others.
So now you can hear how the word is said, and the computer will give you the definition so that you can hear how the word is pronounced, and you can hear the definition. So this gives you that background information, and it's just a good idea as you read through the article to get the power words as you go. So we hear more about the pause program that has been mentioned, and what these volunteer programs have to offer. So again, this lines up with the charities that we've been talking about already. So this lines up with some of the ideas about responsibility and compassion for animals. Again, we have another power word, literally, the idea of something. Again, if you say something literally happened, that means it actually happened. I'm sure your English language arts teacher would love to hear you use literally correctly. They learned to interact safely and gently with small mammals. We've got another power word of mentoring. Someone is mentoring someone else. It means they are teaching or training them. We've got engages. When someone engages in an activity, it means they get involved in it. And then I saw some really interesting things. A lot of things that matched up with stuff that we had already heard about earlier in this unit, some soft skills. And again, it really tied in with some information that we saw earlier when it talked about the science director here talking about how this interaction with animals said it encouraged children to identify their own emotions. So this is something that the kids are getting from this interaction. It helped them identify with their own emotions and empathize with the pets. So here's this connection where they're seeing what the animal's going through, and now they can connect with their own feelings. And so she goes further to explain the situation. Animals have the same range of basic emotions as we do, we meaning people: fear, happiness, calmness. And she said, so when a child is able to identify that in himself, then you can start to talk about how that exists in others too. So basically getting a kid to see, hey, if an animal can feel all of these emotions, then you can see that in other people, and you learn how to identify how other people feel. So this activity, this whole experience of interacting with animals helps kids to learn how to not only learn about other people's emotions, be kind to other people, or be kind to animals, but it also teaches them how to be kind to others in general, because they learn how their actions have a direct impact on someone else. And in the grand scheme of things, this impacts how their direct relationship between themselves has a direct relationship to someone else. So that's how I would approach doing the writing assignment for this writing prompt, using the information that I highlighted in this article. I would do the power words, then I would take the quiz. Now, there are other assignments that follow this, but you can work on any past due work that you might have at this point. There will be a follow-up video after this momentarily. I hope that walking you through this helped. Next video will be here to follow. Okay? Have a great day.